up, Blockchain Nation? What up, YouTube? Thank you so much for taking the time to subscribe to this channel. If you haven't, please hit the subscribe button below and make sure you hit the bell button so you can get weekly notifications whenever we release videos. For those who watch consistently, I want to say a big thank you, thank you, thank you. You are indeed far too kind. So, now today I just want to review what I believe are the top 10 people in cryptocurrencies or in blockchain technology. When I mean the top 10, I mean some of the most influential. Notice I use the word some. Now there are so many people on this list. I mean all the way from technical people or from people who actually started some core Bitcoin or blockchain frameworks. Like obviously people like Vitalik Buterin, who founded Ethereum, or someone like Dan Hongfei, who founded Neo. And because I've mentioned them in a couple of other videos, I'm not going to mention them today, but obviously those are great people. And just quickly, if you check out this list, you see the 100 most influential people in crypto, which really mentions everybody. It's good to look through those guys and girls and ladies and gentlemen and see their stories, and it will also inspire you to get very involved in this space as well. So here's my top 10 list. On my list, I have Bettina Warburg. Bettina Warburg is an amazing lady. She works with Animal Ventures, and they are a forward-thinking blockchain technology company, or a company that uses blockchain technology for great things. Bettina has this TED Talk that has over 1 million views on YouTube. And actually, one of my very first definitions of understanding of blockchain technology came from Bettina Warburg, where she mentioned that blockchain is a registry of assets and transactions across a peer-to-peer network, and the transactions are made secure through cryptography. That definition was from her. So she's definitely doing great things in this space, and I think she will be my number 10 on my list. I have Bettina Warburg, who is just amazing. Also on that list as well, number 9 will be Mr. Don Tapscott. Don and his son Alex Tapscott have a book called The Blockchain Revolution. Check out my video where I talked about what I feel are the top 5 books to read on blockchain technology, and that was one of the books by Don Tapscott. He talks about how blockchain is changing the world. Please, you gotta watch this video. I'll try and put a link below. But this is a very, this was in 2016, and I love the way he explained it. This was even at a point where people were still trying to understand the technology, and he nailed it perfectly. So Don Tapscott will be number 9. He's doing so many great things in this space. You can check out Don Tapscott and see what he's doing. So that's my number 9. Number 8, I have Caitlin Long. Caitlin Long is somebody who is actually interesting. She's in the government space, and she's somebody that helped to make Bitcoin very awesome in the state of Wyoming. So Wyoming has some new blockchain laws that she helped to implement, which makes it easier for companies to set up shop in Wyoming due to the laws that she helped pass. She's here we are, Bitcoin blockchain, Wyoming blockchain task force, 22-year Wall Street veteran. You should listen to some of her talks. She has a talk that she did on a YouTube podcast or YouTube video or podcast. It's called What Bitcoin Did. He has a podcast, and he also has a YouTube channel as well. And he's invited Caitlin Long on his show a couple of times. I've forgotten his name for some reason. I just had a brain fart, and his name just skipped me. The host of What Bitcoin, Peter McCormick, yeah. So he's invited Caitlin Long a couple of times, and she's absolutely amazing. So Caitlin will definitely be number 8 on my list. So who else we got? Now this is Gavin Andresen. Gavin is an awesome person. People say that he might be Satoshi Nakamoto. Was one of the very early people who actually interacted with Satoshi, whoever Satoshi is, or whoever he was or she is. But Gavin is a great person. He helped build on the network. He's a lead developer on the Bitcoin project itself. He's doing amazing things, and I'm sure he is doing very well financially because he was an early buyer of Bitcoin. Don't you just wish you were one of those? Well, so here we have Gavin Andresen. He's a great guy. Who do we have? 6. So Gavin Andresen will be my number 7. Number 6, we have the self-proclaimed Bitcoin Jesus, Mr. Roger Ver. Now, like I said, these are some of the most influential people in Bitcoin or blockchain technology. I'm not saying they are I'm not saying anything about them, good or bad. All I'm just saying is they have a lot of influence in this space. This is Roger Ver. So Roger Ver was a early adopter of Bitcoin. He was also an early investor in BitInstant. with Charlie Shrem, who eventually went to prison for selling money or sending money to somebody who eventually was helping to buy drugs on Silk Road. But Roger Ver was a early investor in BitInstant. That's the name of the company. Him and Charlie Shrem are good friends. He's also one of the people behind what they call Bitcoin Cash. He now promotes Bitcoin Cash. So he believes that because the transactions are so slow on Bitcoin, it's better we increase the block size. And so people came up with the idea to fork Bitcoin, and now we have Bitcoin Cash, and here is Roger Ver, who is that influential in that space. So, number 5. Number 5 is an absolutely brilliant guy by the name of Naval Ravikant. Naval is the CEO of AngelList and also, well, co-maintainer of AngelList, co-founder of Genial Cap, required by this, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure this is the best website to use to talk about Naval, but this guy is a genius. You should listen to some of his talks on YouTube. He really is a good evangelist and speaker and proponent for blockchain technology. He has this talk he did where I think it was on TechCrunch, where he was talking to Vitalik Buterin and was asking a couple of wonderful questions. So Naval is definitely great. I mentioned a book called Bitcoin Billionaires. Read that book. It also has a small section that talks about how Naval got involved in Bitcoin as well. So Naval will definitely be my number 5. Number 4 will be Balaji Srinivasan. Balaji, he is a CTO of Coinbase and general partner at Andresen Horowitz. He also is a co-founder of Earn.com. I did a video on how to make money, how to get Bitcoins for free. And he talked about Earn.com. He was actually the founder of Earn.com. This is his website now. He's CTO of Coinbase. So if you watch watch a couple of videos on YouTube on Balaji. This picture makes him look like Vin Diesel from the movie. But I promise you, he's a very brilliant guy. He has a lot to say about this space. So Balaji, CTO of Coinbase, will definitely be my number 4. So Balaji. Number 3 will be the man himself, Mr. Trace Mayer. This guy is an absolute genius. He is a mathematician, an entrepreneur, a philosopher, a gold bug, and definitely has a lot to say about this. I learned a lot about this. This was one of the guys I started watching his videos when I first got involved in Bitcoin and blockchain technology. Here's a talk he did with Max Kaiser. Well, Max Kaiser too is somewhat influential in this space. Mike Kaiser can be a little bit excited sometimes, but Trace Mayer, definitely you want to watch everything he has to say, listen to everything he has to say about blockchain technology. You can learn a lot from Trace Mayer, and this is somebody I listened to a lot when I got involved with the space. So Trace Mayer will definitely be one. Number 2 will be the Winklevoss. The Winklevoss twins are obviously the guys, some of the they were made popular by this movie called Social Media, which was an adaptation of a book called Accidental Billionaires. Anyway, so after they got shafted by Mark Zuckerberg over Facebook, isn't it interesting how life just smiled on them and they got very involved. They got involved in Bitcoin at a very early stage, and as of this recording, they are actually billionaires from Bitcoin. They are venture capitalists. They were early investors in Charlie Shrem's BitInstant. Ultimately, they started their own Bitcoin exchange, which is called Gemini. I talked about it in that video where I mentioned the top companies to look for in this space, and Gemini was one of them. So these are the guys behind it. So Winklevoss twins will definitely be number 2. And they did a lot in this space, helped to enforce or push for regulation. It was pretty much the Wild Wild West when they got involved. Please read that book called Bitcoin Billionaires by, I forgot his name. It's in another previous video I did. And he talked about them. Fascinating story, fascinating book. You gotta read it. And it's just great. Last but not least, the one, the only, Andreas Antonopoulos. I think this guy is an awesome spokesperson and ambassador for Bitcoin and blockchain technology. Andreas is a mathematician, computer programmer, an entrepreneur. He receives a lot of his pay in Bitcoin, which is how much he believes in this space. This guy is the Bitcoin man. Just binge watch Andreas's videos and you will learn a lot about blockchain technology. about Bitcoin specifically, and he also has a book called Mastering Ethereum, which I mentioned in some other video. So he also has a book called Mastering Bitcoin as well. So Andreas will definitely be my number one spokesman, in my personal opinion, for this space, and he is such a brilliant person. And there's so many people out there. Yes, I know what you're saying. Off with his head.
Off with his head!
Why didn't you talk about this person? Why didn't you mention that person? I can talk about anybody, everybody. So you can check out this 100 most influential people in crypto. It's important that you listen to their stories because it's really inspiring you, the way they got involved when nobody was really interested in this, and they took that huge plunge, kind of like getting involved with McDonald's 10, 20 years ago. You know, people look now and they're like, how would you have bought a McDonald's franchise 20 years ago? But 20 years ago, it was a huge risky investment. In my personal opinion, that's the same thing with this industry. For those who get involved now, I think they are definitely going to have a huge impact on the future. So that's why I like researching and looking through these influential people. So read their stories, read up about them, read their books, binge watch their videos on YouTube, and you will learn a lot about blockchain technology. And so that's all I have. Until next time, I wish for you is that you learn more about, I wish for you is that you learn about blockchain technology, because blockchain is changing and will change the world. And those who get involved early, in my personal opinion, will greatly impact the future. And if that's you, then let's go change the world.